Welcome everybody to Dragon Quest FM, where we talk about and obsess over Dragon Quest. I'm Austin.
I'm BJ.
This week we're continuing our discussion on Dragon Quest 2 HD-2D Remake. Um, there are going to be some spoilers here in today's episode. I really want to spoil the true ending and true boss stuff, but
Yeah,
I know Square Enix was asked people not to share video of it until like the 26th. So I'm gonna be nice and I'm not gonna mention any of that, even though I really want to because I finally finished it all last night actually.
like
Um,
everything, like
yeah,
you're
got to the end. So again, but there will be spoilers for this episode. But yeah, so I can say this part I'm sure because I've already seen videos of it. There's a thing called the Cave of Confusion in the
okay.
post game. Okay, that is part of the quest to get like the Spear of Light and fight like the true final boss and all this stuff.
Right.
Right? The Cave of Confusion is appropriately named because I realize we're getting ahead of ourselves today, but it's maps that you've already seen, right? Like the first one is like the
Okay.
first map is like the first part of the Cave of Renderak. The way it works is you go into the different like exits.
Yeah.
If it's the wrong one, you start back at the beginning
Man, those are
until
so
you find the
frustrating
right.
sometimes.
Yeah, there's like 25 levels of it. And so I I've been stuck here for a little while. Like I think a lot of hours into this. Okay. Um, Full disclosure, I had set it down into Draki and turned invincibility up a long time ago.
Wow.
And I was still in there like hours on end. I was like, screw this.
Just grinding through
I,
it.
at least I won't die. Yeah, because I was afraid of dying because then you'd have to start back at the beginning.
Even with autosaves and stuff like that after battles, you would
Well,
have to start
I
at the
guess
beginning.
I guess you could start back from autosave. Yeah, I keep forgetting autosave exists because I guess I'm just old now or something, but I'm like, no, if I die, I'm gonna start back at a church. So like that literally didn't even like cross my mind here. But I was just like, oh, I can't die. So I put it in to like make it easier. I was just trying to get through it at this point because I was like, it's so frustrating. There's like 25 layers to it.
Mm. Good
Um,
good night.
Shout out to the YouTube channel Quick Guides for having a really nice guide video showing you exactly what to do and explain it. The
Nice.
only the only problem I ran into is in that video it did not talk about on one layer. A lot of it is repeats from scenes and dungeons in Dragon Quest 3. And it did not have the part where you have to go to a statue to move the thing and then go down from DQ3. But it was pretty easy to figure out on my own anyway. But either way, it was atrocious. I was stuck there for a really long time. And between that and just having like life things to do, like I really did kind of drag my feet here at the end about getting through the post game, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about that all more in depth, I guess, once the post game stuff lifts.
Is
Because
able to in another couple of weeks.
yeah, I just want to be nice to people playing. But also, I know Square Enix asked people to do that, and I don't want to be like a jerk or anything by talking about too much. But I know there's guides and guide videos for Cave of Confusion already. I mean, I used one to get through it finally last
Yeah.
night. So yeah, don't feel bad mentioning that. But I think last time we got to Cave of Renderak is kind of what we
Hmm.
were talking about. Um, and I wrote down some notes for this week because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna have time to mention
Yeah, to be able
everything
to
I
get
want to talk
through
about.
everything.
So there's something I wanted to mention last week that I didn't, and I don't know if you can tell me. Somebody listening can tell me though. I noticed when I was playing in DQ1 and DQ2 remake that they call them rabbit girls now. It's rabbit ears, rabbit girls, rabbit tail
Oh,
instead of bunnies, and it really threw me off. And I don't remember that being the case for DQ3 remake.
I don't remember. Like it didn't stick out if it did. Like
It's
it
it's such a small change, but it was extremely jarring to me because I mean, it's like what 40 years of like bunny girls and bunny tails
uh-huh.
and bunny suit things like that. And yeah, it was rabbit in this one and it maybe it's been in other games too and this is just the first time I'm noticing it, but like it really threw me off. There was something just jarring about it, especially like there's a part later on where you get there, it's like part of like a mirage,
Yeah.
like an illusion that happens, and there's like all these bunny girls with the king, but they all say rabbit girl.
Huh.
And it was one of those things where I was like, this is You were gonna pull it up on your Switch, weren't
I
you?
was.
Just now.
I have my Switch on my desk and it's dead. My Switch Lite is dead. I was gonna go see about DQ3,
So anyway, I meant to
but
bring that up last week, but it was a weird thing that I was like, why though? Like, why make that change?
the only thing I can think of why they would make that change is because of Playboy bunnies. Is keep like not using the exact same term
But
for this. I mean, roughly the same thing. I mean, that's why they were bunny girls to begin with and bunnies. But that's the only thing I could think of is moving away from an actual trademark.
yeah, but
But
after like 40 years though,
I
like
don't remember it in DQ3. I can't remember. Like, if it did, I never even thought about it. Like, just playing through, like, it never once crossed, like, as being something. If they did call them rabbit girls or rabbits, it was just like, oh, yeah, they got rabbit ears and just moved on. Didn't even register as being something that would be different.
yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was the thing. The other thing I forgot to mention last week is when we were talking about the Cave of Renderak and getting to Renderak, I did want to mention, like I said, I thought the Cave of Renderak was easier overall in terms of like combat and other things like
Right.
that. But it's still a mean dungeon. You still run into like those pitfalls and everything like that. Um, when you actually get to Renderak, because like getting out of the cave is its own challenge, and then you get to actual Renderak, and like used to, it was like those monsters are mean.
Like,
Like
incredibly difficult.
like Nakamura has even said in the time since then that like, yeah, we made an issue with like
We overtuned
programming it.
that with programming. Yeah.
Yeah. And um so um I did think it was a lot easier this time. I wanted to I had this ready just for you. I did think Renderak was a lot easier, but it's still Snow Joke.
Ah,
You're welcome. Yeah, because it's snowy there.
that's snowing there. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, um I wrote it down because I forgot to make that pun last week, and I was
Last
like,
time, so
no,
you wrote it down like
that's how
that.
much I believed in that joke. I took the
I
time to write it on like the notes app of my
I
phone.
think I think our listeners right now should go to YouTube, Spotify, Blue Sky, wherever you're listening to this right now. Leave a comment on whether or not that was worth Austin leaving a note for himself that Renderak is snow joke.
It was worth
Uh,
it.
it
It was worth
was
it.
it was
Please
a
tell
good
me it's
one.
worth it.
It's a good one.
People are already being mean to me because of me complaining about the difficulty in DQ1 and Elmu.
It's
Um,
true. Like, people apparently love Elmu, and
I knew they would. I
you
knew it.
are a monster. You are a heartless, soulless monster who
I
who
I
does
knew
not
it.
appreciate joy.
I knew people would. Two of my favorite reactions to it though was Ugly Idiot on Twitter shared like a video of just Elmu kind of like staring. That cracked me up. What
Yep.
actually made me like laugh out, like literally laugh out loud, was Brittany on YouTube said that she thought I should have to run through the castle, Dragon Lord Castle, 300 more times as punishment for speaking ill of Elmu. That one made me laugh out loud.
That one. That is a true punishment too. Like, that's good. That
Yeah.
is your coach giving you laps on the hottest day of summer. Like, that is that's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, for people who, responded back with the Elmu stuff, like, thanks. I knew I was being mean, but that really is how I felt about him, just like the whole time. I was like, I don't need Elmu." Um, but yeah, so getting to kind of like the end game, because that's kind of what I figured we would talk about today. I for all those people who are like, how dare you say DQ2 is hard, DQ1 is hard. I actually thought Dragon Quest 2 was really easy.
Right.
It's like far away the easiest version of this game, and I played it in Dragon Quest. I played it in the normal mode.
Yeah. Until you got to
Um,
the post game when you were just like, I'm done with this, and I'm just going to get through it. When you put it on Draki
Cave of
and
Confusion, yeah.
yeah,
I don't remember dropping it in. I don't remember dropping the way I did in DQ1. I don't remember ever dropping it temporarily
yeah,
in DQ2. Um, I thought it was pretty easy. I was also probably pretty over leveled, admittedly, by the time I got here. I was trying to like, open treasure chests. I'd taken the time to go and get all of Erdrick's armor and sword and all
yeah.
that. I thought I would get a trophy for it. I did not. They gave me a trophy for it in DQ1, but you don't get it for DQ2.
Oh.
Um, and so, but
Are
I
the
took the time.
trophies separated on the PS5 where sometimes the different
No,
games,
no, it's all one game
it's all as one game on
and
there? I
one
know I've had
equal
other
for one platinum.
collections
Yeah,
where um so
like
one
Kingdom
thing to
Hearts and stuff. Yeah.
so one thing that reminded me that I didn't get to go into last time that I forgot is I didn't ask you about the kitty cat suit.
Mhm.
Because you got to walk around the entire time with the dog
Yeah.
suit and your
Uh-huh.
kids loved it and then got upset. Did you do the same thing in this one with the cat suit? Was it actually worth using overall and you had to get annoyed at being in the cat suit for so long?
Not as long, but yeah, when I first got it, it was Canic. I put it on Canic
Right.
because I was like, he probably needs the defense boost more than Mendenhall does. So I put it on Canic, and yeah, Canic was a cat for a while. Um, you actually get a trophy. Um,
Oh yeah.
for yeah, you actually get a trophy for dressing all four party members up as animals.
Oh wow.
And some of them you find, one I got is the reward. I assume that there's enough in the game already for you to get that it's doable.
Yeah.
But I have three, and I know a fourth one is the first plot prize, not the platinum prize, but the first place
Oh
prize of the Tombola
yeah.
stuff in, I think it's in Remoldor is where that one is. And I tried it until I ran out of tickets. Um,
Oh
recently I've gotten more tickets since then, haven't gone
yeah.
back, but recently I tried till I got a ticket and couldn't get the first prize. So we got three, and I know of a fourth one. It's just kind of like I haven't gone back to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Canic was a cat for a little bit, for
Okay,
sure.
I was just curious. You didn't mention it, and I remember that being such a big part of DQ1 for you that I had to see how the kitty cat
Yeah, it
outfit worked
wasn't
for you.
he was not a cat for as long as like the hero was in DQ1. Like in DQ1, I felt like I was a dog for for
Yep,
too
for a
long.
long time.
Yeah. But yeah, I did think that so between, going off and doing all the side stuff, I tried to find all the fairy memories that you
Yeah,
reasonably can. The rest you can't find until after, the credits roll the first time. Um, but but yeah, I had done that stuff. So I was like pretty high level. So I think that's part of why I found it pretty easy. Like I think I was
yeah.
like level like 56, 57 on all
Okay.
my characters. I had like arguably probably I would say the best armor and like gear and
Yeah,
like weapons. At that point, I had like naturally found a lot of scrolls and things, so it had abilities and
yeah,
spells and stuff. Um, but yeah, I didn't think I thought Renderak was fairly easy. Didn't have any trouble with, once you get into the castle and you have to fight like Atlas and Pazuzu
hmm
and all of them. There's also the new villain Mariella, who
yeah,
you run into a few times. Um, I thought she made a pretty good. I thought she made a pretty good villain.
yeah.
Uh, overall, yeah. At first, I was like, oh, she's just here to like be a bad guy for this mermaid section.
Right.
But then they kept her alive and they actually like bring her back later and do
Okay.
some like flashbacks with her and stuff. So it didn't feel like she was just tacked on. Like it actually
Yeah,
felt like
just
they did a good job integrating her. And that's really the thing about like how great Dragon Quest II Remake is
yeah,
that they just did like such a phenomenal job with, like the Princess of Canic, like I talked about last time, like Matilda and Mariella, like all these new things. They did a really fantastic job, I felt like, of just like integrating it in where it didn't
yeah.
feel like it, even as someone who has like played Dragon Quest II
A
multiple times
lot.
before, I wasn't like, oh, this is where the original DQ2
Yeah,
stopped and then they added in. Like there's some parts, obviously, I know
of
that, but it
course.
wasn't
Yeah,
ever like it never was jarring and stuff. I would say there are moments, there are cut scenes, like especially at the very, very end and like the true ending and stuff, where you're
right.
like, oh yeah, this is obviously new. Like they
Yeah.
didn't go this far into character development in like the 80s.
hmm
And things like that. But I mean, I just thought they did a really good job. I did want to talk about Pazuzu for a minute though.
Okay.
He's the monkey demon. He's
Uh
like
huh.
for those of you who don't know, Pazuzu is the demon in The Exorcist as well. And so um anyway, it was already funny because
Right.
I've really gotten them into gorillas unintentionally. I've just listened to
Like okay, the music
the band,
gorillas. Okay.
the
I was
band,
like,
yeah.
I could see them also getting super into gorillas, like as
And
an ape, the apes.
so honestly, what it was is they got really into, there's like these, like, no offense to the people who do it, but there's like these YouTubers, and what they do is they make these like really, like, some of them are emo, some of them are rap and dance, Minecraft music videos to music.
Oh,
And it's not, the music's not even bad that the kids have listened to. I'm like, yeah, that
yeah,
sounds like, a real legit song that would be on the radio, but I don't like it. And so I was like, Gorilla's kind of upbeat and kind of funky
yeah.
music, they probably like it. So I just had it on one day when I was like doing some work around the house. I was like, if they like it, fine. But because of that, they like watching like lore videos and stuff. And
Oh,
Gorillaz has really deep lore. Okay. Like it's a pretty high concept band, right? But
okay.
anyway, Pazuzu has like been a running thing in Gorillaz lore. And the last album that came out in 2023, Cracker Island, Pazuzu was a part of that cult. And so so whenever they had like seen Pazuzu in Spirit, they
Oh,
were like, Pazuzu. Um, because like any good parent, I teach my children about demons at a
about
very young age. So they were
that.
like, Pazuzu. Like how many 8 and 9 year olds do you know who just get excited about like
About seeing
Pazuzu?
Pazuzu as
Yeah.
a as an enemy. It's like I don't.
Demon
I
of
think
Mesopotamia.
this might be the first I've ever heard of
Yeah, so yep.
it.
My kids were excited to see a Mesopotamian demon show up in the game. But anyway, it's pretty funny because his whole thing is like they have him hoarding bananas. Like they
Mm,
really dig into like the he's a monkey kind of thing
yeah,
here. When you fight him the last time, he makes some silly little banana like puns and stuff
right.
as he's fighting you. His death scene though, there's a reason I wanted to bring this up. His death scene struck more of an emotional chord with me than Elmu dying. Because,
Really.
yeah, I know he's a bad guy, but he dies and he gets out a little banana and he's like, just one last banana. And he wants
Oh,
and he wants to eat it and he can't. He's too weak because he's dying. And Matilda comes up and holds out the banana and he's like, oh, that was such a good banana. Thank you. And then he dies. And
that is sad. Like
I'm
that
like,
is
yeah, I'm like that made me way sadder than anything with Elmu.
like not having seen Elmu or anything like that outside of hearing you and the other people talking about it online. The that sounds so sad. Like the that sounds so much sadder than honestly a lot of character deaths, whether good or bad guys. Like it just wants one more banana.
Yeah,
Like
he just wanted to eat his last banana before he died.
that's so that's heartbreaking.
I
Like that
know.
makes me like it hits me right here. Hits me in my
I know.
chest. Hits me in my heart.
It was with apologies to Elmu, it was the saddest part of the entire of either one or two, like whenever
Wow.
Pazuzu dies. So
Wow.
so yeah, the Pazuzu thing was memorable. Then when you get to the end, the like Hargon and Malroth fight, I didn't really know what to expect
Yeah.
because Hargon, whatever, but Malroth, as you know,
Hmm.
and as people who probably listened a long time know, Malroth really gave me trouble the first time I
Uh
played
huh.
Dragon Quest II. For all the people who telling me that I suck at video games for complaining about the difficulty of DQ1, I've always sucked at video games. Dragon Quest II Malroth
Proves that.
killed me like 14 times. Yeah, like I struggled with Malroth. So I was really kind of anxious, honestly, to get to him because
Yeah.
I was trying not to get too cocky because I was like, man, I breezed through Renderak and these like sub bosses in Hargon's castle, and what's going to happen when I get there.
Yeah.
And then it was almost disappointing because of how
Oh.
easy, maybe not easy, but how undifficult the how like I mean Hargon, you almost expect him to be a little bit of pushover,
Yeah,
especially if
because
you're
you're
leveled
moving
up.
into the next boss.
Yeah, and so like The design is awesome though. Like Hargon, the design for him and like the more fluid animation they put for
Yeah.
Hargon, the color schemes and everything. Like I loved it. It was so pretty. Like something about that Hargon
Mhm.
fight just like really spoke to me. I loved it. And then I like defeated him so quickly. I was like, oh man. And then of course Malroth shows up and like my kids were watching me play it when I did it, and they recognized him because I have a big Malroth figure and
Yeah.
I have a Malroth plush. And
Oh, I didn't know you had the plush.
yeah, and so I mean, Malroth is my boy. And it's really funny because I, when I did get to him, it was like kind of a dopamine hit of like seeing an old friend, you
Yeah.
know? And unlike most, I feel like a lot of people might feel that way because of Builders 2.
Yeah.
And it's not because of Builders 2 for me. I was like, oh, there's my buddy. But I'm talking about actual Dragon Quest 2 Malroth.
Actual
Because when
Malroth
you
because
spend,
you spent that much time trying to get through it. Like you really really connected with him, whether or not it's a
exactly.
good connection or not.
Yeah, but I did. Whenever he showed up, like I realized I had a big smile on my face, where I was just kind of like, there he is. Like
Yep.
there's Malroth. And no, but got through the Malroth fight there fine. Um didn't really run into any issues with him. I was almost like I don't want to say disappointed, but I was expecting him to be a lot meaner than he was.
Right.
Like the Malroth fight feels almost anticlimactic there because it
Really?
it is easier than in the original. Yeah, and I'll talk about the Malroth stuff because there's like exist once you beat him, there's like that evil voice that's like, I'm still here, I
Yeah.
will never leave. And you're like, oh, there's like a true boss now I have to fight. So I'll talk about that a little bit more, next week or whenever, when we tackle post game. But
Yeah.
yeah, just doing that part for the story, I was like, man, this is a lot easier than I expected it to be. And but still, I mean, I still had a good time with it. Like I I think the way it ends, like just the base ending for it, I think
Yeah.
the way it ends is it's very difficult to give up at that point because of them having the voice
Oh.
lingering that's like, I'm still here and all this.
Yeah.
It's very much like, oh, well, I didn't really beat the game. I gotta go figure this
Right.
out now.
Rather,
Um,
even though credits are going to roll, it's definitely showing that it's not the end of the game.
Yeah. And so I'm curious. That's another thing people can let us know about because I am curious, like for people who beat the game,
Hmm.
like did they get to that point and they were just kind of like, no, I'm good. I played through
Yeah.
what was really the main story of the game and like the original end to the game. Like I think I'm good. Or if they were kind of like me and were like, no, I have to go. Because like for me it was instant. Like I didn't even when I when I beat the game, I was
Yeah.
just like it wasn't even like, oh, I take a break now. It was like I
Just
seriously think
moving straight through.
I think I played another like 2.5 hours, like really losing track of time just because I'm like
Yeah.
having fun and playing the game and I'm like, oh, I need to, you know, see what this is. And then I realized I got to like Cloud's Gate Citadel with the Shinlan stuff, and I was like, oh, this isn't part of the like Sphere of Light quest that I need to do to find out who this evil person is. So like
Right.
I'm out and just, like got out, left, zoomed out of there. Because I was like, I'm gonna go do this.
Yep.
Um, and so I'm curious if other people felt that instant pull to like, no, I gotta
Yeah.
keep doing this, or if they were kind of like, this is where the original game ended. I'm good.
Yeah. And I know people do that because of DQ11, where people just
Which
stop playing
is
DQ11 at the first credits. And it is baffling that anybody, and it does, and I don't mean to offense if this is something that you've done. It's baffling to stop there because of how much like more story there is after that. And that's kind of the
it's
way I feel about this. If it's continuing on with that and making it pretty clear that it would be kind of hard to stop there. That I don't really see why you buy the game and then stop playing it unless you're just not enjoying.
yeah. I think I mean it's wild to me too that people don't. I get it. It's a long game already by
Mm-hmm.
the time you get there, but I mean I was the same way about 11 where And honestly, this is the first game probably since 11 where it's like I beat it and just right out the gate I was like, oh, got to keep going.
Just
Like,
keep on moving
so,
through
so
without
what if I
even
beat the
taking a break.
final boss? Like, I got to keep
Yeah.
going, you know? Like even DQ Treasures and some of the different games I've done post games with, like Monsters and stuff like that. Like, I if I remember correctly, it was like, okay, I beat the game, and I was like, okay, I'm good. I'll come back and do post game, like start it tomorrow,
Yeah,
or you know,
tomorrow or the
after
next
a
day or
little
whenever.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But this one, I was just like, nope, just back to business. Like, I
Yep.
didn't even felt like I'd beaten anything or seen credits roll. Um, and then, of course, you know, at the end, the way DQ2 ends, you go around to like all the towns to
Hmm.
see what you do. People are gonna give me a hard time about this. I know, but I was so used to this to the game, I was like, if you go to Middenhall, you know, you don't
Yeah.
have to go to all the towns if you don't want to. Like you can just go to Middenhall, talk to the king, and the king is like, hey, you want to be king now? And you're like, sure. And he's like, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a happy ending. And then it ends. And I was so used to like that idea, I guess.
Hmm.
Like I didn't even think about it. Like I didn't even look at what my objectives were or anything on the map. I just went to like Middenhall and talked and like
Oh,
closed it out. And then I was like, oh darn, like I actually missed out on like going around and talking to all the towns. I mean, and I
di-
assume in the remake they're just little like cut scenes, you know, tell like celebrating
yeah.
you and stuff. But
Oh, dang. Do you have a save point that you could go back to that was
no.
you might have to kill Malroth again and then go do it?
No, because once the credits roll, you can start like your new save and everything to do
Mm,
it. There's some things that I want to talk about, but it kind of gets into how kind of gets into like how post game stuff works. So
yeah.
I don't want to necessarily
I
I don't
get
want to
it.
necessarily
Don't
spoil too much of
Yeah,
it
don't
right
want to do
now.
the spoilers for people, especially since Square Enix asked for people not to do it
Yeah, so some
for
people
doing it.
who have done the post game or are doing the post game may be like, "What the heck are you talking about, Austin?" And I'm trying to be very careful with how I frame things and choose my words carefully here, as if I'd only just stopped at the credits and didn't know what came after it.
Yeah.
So even though I do know, but I'm really excited to talk about it because that was something that I finally got to last week, just because of, I mean, a lot
Yeah.
of it was life. I mean, I'll just be completely honest. Like, you know, sometimes you have like 20 hours a week to play a video game, and sometimes you have zero.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of the last like week or so between like my birthday and getting ready for the holidays, like I just had no like time to just, you know, video game it up as
Yeah.
much. Um, but I did kind of get to that point. I started it back up again over the weekend, um,
Right.
where I was like, if I don't get back to it, like I'm never going to.
Yeah. I
But
mean, and that actually reminds me, I do want to address one thing, that comment that we got that on Spotify this week, that because the last like little while of episodes have been me and you talking about it, but it's been you playing the games and me not. And I want to address that one on it's because I'm broke and unemployed. The I haven't been able to get DQ1 and 2. I wasn't lucky enough to get a review copy of it this time around, and without those, I'm not able to actually get the brand new games. Like everything I've got back here has been review copies that I've been sent to be able to write and talk about, and so the Patreon is going to pay my electricity bill right now. So thank you guys for that. But that's why I haven't been doing it, because I understand you talking about life getting, life happening and getting
that
in the
happens.
way of
Yeah.
being able to actually play. That's actually kind of life happened, and I haven't been able to play these. But if Square Enix would like to send me a review copy, I'd be happy to review key. But that is why, and it sucks a great deal because I hate it that I've missed out on this. But games usually happen on deep discount for me right now. So when it comes through, I'll get it on Steam or something like that when a big Steam sale comes through, and hopefully stream it if I'm able to actually find it like that. But you talking about life happening was like, I want to address this comment that was on there because I felt bad about it myself, just on my own, being like, I got a DQ podcast and I haven't been playing DQ, but there's a reason. There's a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah.
Uh,
Makes
but
sense.
it's not just
Um,
me being a lazy bum and letting you do it and then just sitting here and listening about it.
oh
Um,
yeah, of
for the
course.
listener's sake, I know
And
you know.
And who
Um,
knows, maybe Santa will bring you something if you've been a nice boy this year.
I've been not a nice boy this year. Nobody can say that. Um, No, but that's actually what Jennifer and I are asking for, different games from family members like the DK Bonanza and stuff that we weren't able to get. That when we splurged on the Switch 2 that we absolutely should not have. It was a big mistake, for a number of reasons. And but it's like we're gonna. That's what Christmas is this year. We're gonna grab some like that and be like, Riley, buy us Donkey Kong, kid. And but yeah, so
If you guys don't want to waste, I realize this is just like personal conversation now, but if you guys don't want to waste a Christmas wish, I will send you Bonanza.
oh yeah,
We haven't played it like probably 2 weeks since it came out.
okay, yeah, send it to me.
I'll mail it to you and
I will
let you play it.
happily
Okay.
play it. That's actually one we've been really wanting to play and haven't had a chance to. And I did notice that on Switch 2, I guess it's any Switch, but the GameCube online just got the original Luigi's Mansion, and I'm really excited to play through the original Luigi's Mansion
It's good, yeah.
uh, because I didn't like it when it was brand new, and now it's on here, and I like them now. I wanted a platformer when I was in college, and it was brand new and didn't care for the style. Now I'm gonna love it, but that just
Yeah, it's
reminded me of
good.
games to
It's fun.
play. But I got an email about it the other day. But yeah, I'll definitely take your Donkey Kong Bonanza and borrow it.
Yeah. Um, But yeah, so thank you guys for listening to this week's episode. We will be tackling the post game episode,
Post
probably
game.
post game, like yeah, post game stuff. Maybe next week or week after.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at a calendar yet to see whether the timing works on that, but definitely let us know how you've been enjoying the game. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube, and even if you're not, we suck at YouTube. So
Yes, we do.
subscribe to our channel if you would be so kind, to help us out there. We've been posting these up because people request them and haven't
Mhm.
really been doing any kind of effort to like grow it more than that. Um,
But for those of you who are there,
but
it's great to see your comments on there.
interactions, yeah, it's been great seeing people comment on stuff and things like that. But please do take the time to
Mhm.
subscribe over there if you haven't already. If you would like to chat with us, you can leave a comment there or on Spotify, or talk to us on Twitter or Blue Sky at Dragon Quest FM, and I am at those places at Dragon Quest
And we do say on Spotify, but also we are on every podcast
everywhere.
place. So if you happen to listen to this on Spotify because that's what we said, you can go to Apple Podcasts or anywhere. Like it's distributed everywhere. That's just where we go through.
We're
So
everywhere.
but you can talk to me on Blue Sky at bjkgames.com, Twitter, BJK Games. And if you'd like to support the podcast and keep my electricity on, you can go to patreon.com/Dragon Quest FM. How was that for unexpectedly dark for just a moment?
It
But
it, it was unexpectedly dark, yeah. But he's only
but
half joking.
I'm only half joking. Um, but that would be great if you want to support us. Other than that, I guess we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Bye.
Bye, y'all.